I found out what I've been missing, always on the run. I was searching for someone. Hey, everybody, this is Auntie, and I am here to do our Monday marathon. This has just become such a regular part of our 90-day fiance little thing that we do. And I so enjoy it. If this is your first time here, welcome. Welcome to our Monday marathon talking all things 90-day fiance, happily ever after, question mark. We are right now going to be talking about Molly and Louise. And I hope that you are ready for what I'm going to try to do. I'm telling you, I'm going to try to do it. Is not sit out here and be screaming and hollering and yelling and cussing. I am going to try to talk like a intelligent woman because I am one. Okay, so anyway, you all, yesterday I gave 90 Day Fiance TLC an A. And today I am convinced that they deserve the A that they got. And on a scale from 1 to 10, 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, season 3, episode 5, absolutely gets a 10. I am so glad that you are here to join me as we discuss these couples and we kind of break them down. Don't forget that I am going to be opening up the phone line. So if you've got your favorite person that you want to talk about, the phone lines will be open. I'm going to discuss a little bit on of about the couples, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines because I think that it has been very interesting. I think that you all enjoy hearing each other's voices and kind of putting a voice to the name. And I think that you all absolutely enjoy getting that feedback from your nieces and nephews. It's kind of interactive, and is the highlight for me when you all call in. So think about who you want to call in for. And you can call in for all of them if you want to. We'll see whether or not we can um, get enough people in. So anyway, yesterday we saw Molly's whole entire world crash down on her. As we all know, Molly is, I believe, 42 years old. She is married to Luis from the Dominican Republic, and he is 27 years old. And as I said yesterday, Molly is the proud owner of an AARP card, while Louise is the proud owner of a season pass to Disney World. They are two generations apart. Now, that is not to say that you cannot date a younger man. You just can't date the bartender from the Dominican Republic, 27 years old, who has lived his whole entire life partying, getting drunk, and being in that scene. Automatically, from that perspective, Molly and Louise, basically, their relationship never really, to me, had a fighting chance. But she dared to be different. She wanted to have a man to love, having to hold, I guess. I don't know what she was thinking about, but she decided that she wanted to bring a souvenir home. And that souvenir walked, talked, breathed, ate, poo pooed, and all of that other kind of stuff. Okay, we don't have to go that far. But mostly that souvenir that she brought home was able to give her the deed. And I think that Molly, like many other women, made a decision to be with Louise based on the deed. And so yesterday, we see her, basically sit down with her mother. In the previous episode, Molly and Kinsley were talking to the mother on the phone about the conditions that Louise was in, or the lack thereof. The mother was basically trying to tell Molly, things were really bad in the household as far as your living babysitter slash living boy toy slash souvenir. And so Becky with the gray hair basically was like, okay, we don't want to talk about this on the phone, we'll talk about this when you get back. And when I say Becky with the gray hair, I am not meaning that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying Becky with the gray hair because she's an older woman. Okay, so you know what, don't even trip and put nothing in my comments. Talk about, you talk about older women. I got gray hair too. Okay, you just don't see it right today. Okay, but anyway, I digress. And so basically, Becky with the gray hair came over to the house and sat down with Molly, and she wanted to know, how have things been since you've come back, from your trip to Kentucky selling bras. And basically, she was like, it's been worse. This man does not want to sleep in the bed with me. When I come home, he locks himself in the guest room. He is not communicating with me or Kinsley or anybody else for that matter, that lives in this household, but rather he is talking to people on the cell phone. And so, she talks about Louise being this fantastic husband. I don't remember, I've never seen it. I saw one of Molly's girlfriends. I will not name your name, but I saw one of Molly's girlfriends in the comments section mention that, Louise absolutely was this way and it wasn't seen on television. Well, Molly should have made sure that that showed up on television, because what we saw from TLC was just this lazy man who decided that he wasn't going to do anything and he was going to live in a lap of luxury. He wasn't going to take care of her children. That is what we seen. That is what we heard out of Louise's mouth. So he complained because he said he didn't want to do the dishes, he didn't want to cook, and that's the reason why he wanted Olivia in the household. He complained about keeping Kinsley and said that he wanted Kinsley's dad to come and pick Kinsley up, and why can't she stay with her dad with the whoop whoop and the boo boo boo. So this man that you and Molly say that you all have seen, this man that you and Molly say you all see, we don't see him. There's no record of him. Now I don't know, if the record is somewhere else. Show me, guide me, lead me. Okay, convince me. But what I'm convinced about is that Molly picked the wrong guy to get married to, and she picked the wrong guy, and everybody had told her there were signs everywhere. Molly said that she did not see this coming, and I just don't understand how a woman who is 42 years old does not see this coming. I think that as parents, we have to realize that although our children are not as wise as we are, they do have wisdom of their own. And standing on the outside and looking in, our children are the first ones who will be able to give us an honest opinion about who we are and who we are becoming. And Molly's daughter, Olivia, as disrespectful as she was at times, was absolutely telling Molly, mom, you've changed. This man isn't right. You don't pay me any attention anymore. You put this man before me, And so, basically, Molly did not heed the warnings. Not only did Molly get warnings from him, she also received warnings from her dad. And she chose not to listen to those warnings. She didn't look at the red flags. And now here it is, your daughter has been out of the household for 30 days. And it has been, she basically has been replaced with a Tasmanian devil called Louise. Louise is walking through her house and doing what he wants to do. He comes down the stairs, after having locked himself up in a room, in the guest room, talking about Molly like a dog to his family, his friends, and any other hoe that'll listen to him. And so basically, he comes downstairs, he gets one of the portable speakers out of the drawer, and he decides that he's going to, live the he decides that he's going to live Viva la Bamba or whatever you want to call it up in her household. He's got this music playing and all of this, and it is absolutely driving Molly crazy. If you have ever had somebody in your household who has absolutely overstayed their welcome or has made you feel uncomfortable in your own house, certainly you can relate to what Molly is going through. But here's the thing, Molly brought all of this on herself. Sometimes we make decisions that we have to live with, unfortunately. And this is the bid that Molly has made. Molly's mother, is sitting there and she's biting her tongue with everything she has in her, because I know if that was me and my daughter had made this decision, I would be sitting there biting my damn tongue too. And it would probably be bleeding, come, just oozing. Not, with trying to resist the temptation of saying, I told you so, or you should have known better. But you have to kind of think about Marley's mom. When we first were introduced to Becky with the gray hair, we realized at that point that Becky with the gray hair was, one of those type of women who, basically flies by the seat of her pants. She talked about how, she likes to live a very liberal life and she likes to travel and do different things and stuff like that. So we really don't know what the relationship was going in the household. Molly described her dad, in one of the episodes last year. They kind of talked about, the father, got a little problem with, he may allegedly have a little problem with skin color. Now, I don't know about all of that. This is just what Molly and her mom has said about the dad. But you know what? I don't think that it had anything to do with skin color. I don't believe that Big Papa had a problem with Louise because of the color of Louise's skin, but because he was not mature enough in what he saw. And we have sat back and we have watched and we have not judged Louise based on his skin color, because I certainly don't want anybody to judge me based on my permanent tan that I have. We have judged him basically on what he has allowed us to see through the cameras of TLC. And one thing about it is, they can cut and they can edit, but they can't really edit what you haven't put out there. And this is basically what you put out there, Louise. You have put out there that you are, basically coming over here for a ride. Molly now alludes to the fact that she believes that Louise, came over here for all the wrong reasons. And now she's kind of, going back and playing in her head things that people have said to her in the past as it relates to Louise. And guess what? At this point, it's a little too little. It's too little, too late. You have lost your daughter, and it's going to be very hard to build that relationship back up, because guess what? It looks like, there may be a problem with Marley running in and out of the household, and that Olivia is just absolutely tired of it. I don't know what it could be. But I tell you what, we have absolutely seen this relationship come to a screeching halt. And, basically this man is taking over her house. She just wants him to go. She's, just, oh my God, why is he playing this crazy music? And she's basically losing his mind. And it seems like Louise, to me, is trying to push her into a compromising position where she is putting them paws on him. We see from the previews that it looks like there's going to be an altercation that happens in the bedroom. Last week, someone sent me, thank you very much for sending it to me. Someone sent me a video of Louise and Molly, having a domestic situation going on in the household, and Louise is calling the police and whatever, whatever. Molly said, basically you can't call the police because this is my house. Well, guess what? It's now community property because you are now married to him. And so all of those kind of things, Molly, you should have thought about. I don't know whether or not you signed a prenup agreement, but your house is his house and his house is your house. And it just is what it is. And I think that, this should have been nipped in the bud before it escalated to a domestic situation where people are putting their paws on one another. And it is very unfortunate. Why I feel sorry for Molly. I absolutely saw it coming. And I think that we all saw it coming and we all tried to scream, Molly, you're in danger. Molly had an opportunity, doing a tell-all, doing a reunion, to continue to be separated from Louise. But no, she had to have the D back in the house. At the time, Olivia was sitting on the sofa with her at the reunion. I was looking all crazy, just really trusting and believing that her mother would, stand, on her own 2 feet, and she would make the decision to finally choose me over this man. And, so Olivia was ride or die with her mother, at that point. But I think that things just escalated to a point where Olivia couldn't stand. And anytime you take and throw your daughter, your teenage daughter, out into the street, and I don't mean that Molly physically threw her out. I'm talking about the circumstances were so uncomfortable that you would throw your daughter into harm's way, that she could possibly, get pregnant or whatever, because now she's living up underneath the roof. She's not sitting in there, not having, well, maybe she is, but I mean, I would think, in my opinion, you basically put her in a position where she's having premarital sex at, being a teenager, and all of this could have been prevented. That's not to say that she would not have done this. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying sometimes we put our we can put our children in positions where they have no other choice but to do something that we really would not want them to do. And her living in a household with her boyfriend absolutely puts her under the roof with the D. And the D, if the D is available, then she might choose to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. And so, Molly is making up, all of these reasons and all of these excuses about, Louise not being in love with her, that if he was in love with her, he would love all the things about her, including her children. But Molly, you know what? You wanted to bring this man in here. This man does not have any employment. It doesn't appear that he has his green card. I don't mind as a double workshop. So this man is sitting in there a day in and day out and doing nothing but taking care of your baby. I know she mentioned a couple episodes ago that this the baby Kinsley was going to school, but what is she doing when she's not in school? If you're going to bring this man in your house, you have to make sure that that man feels like a man and not feels like a living babysitter. And I think, Molly, that's what you wanted. I think that you didn't really, clearly define things for the souvenir that you brought over. And you absolutely should have done that. It is unfair to bring somebody into a circumstance or a situation and then change up on them the way that you did. And now all of a sudden you're a victim. And yes, I do. Like I said earlier, I do feel sorry for you. Can't wait to interview with you. But I know, Molly, you've got to be sitting back at this point and really thinking, you know what? Damn, I really should have listened to my dad and all the other people that were telling you about him. Someone, who is this? Someone says, Alicia McNair says, I feel bad for Louise as well. Molly was not honest as to what she wanted. I absolutely agree with you on that. I really do. I agree with you on that to a certain extent, because you know what, Louise needed to say what he wanted to. And he knew that, when he met this woman over in the DR, he knew that this woman had children. And Molly even said that, he said what kind of father he would be, and he would step up to the plate. But you know what, stepping up to the plate and being at the plate is two different things. And so when it's time to swing, you gotta swing. Amma C said, should have listened to her own daughter. Absolutely, Amma, I totally agree with what you are saying out there, boo-boo. Merjana said, here I am live. I'm so happy. Thank you, boo. Thank you. You've been such a faithful niece to me for so long. Urban Frugal Chick said, what kind of job is he going to get? I'm sure she don't want him working in no bar. I'm sure she told him, you will be my houseboy. Okay, urban frugal chick. Well, you know what? Guess what? You can't change a person. You have to accept a person the way that they are. And you know what? Molly won't ready to do that. And the thing about it is she met him in the bar. What's wrong with him being a bartender? See, that's what I'm saying. You can't change a person. You can't make a person do and be what you want them to do and be. It's not fair for you to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open up the phone lines because I don't want to be on here long. I just wanted to kind of give a summary and a synopsis of what is going on. Basically, Louise is chilling, okay? And he is living his best life up underneath this woman's roof. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, just 1 second, let me make sure I am plugged up, everybody. I'm so glad y'all out here. Um, this is for you. And I really want to connect to you all. And this is why I do these Monday marathons, because I sure do want to hear um, What you all have to say. Okay, hold on. Let me see why this thing is not doing what I wanted to do. Okay, Bluetooth, y'all. Okay, so we connected. All right, now I'm getting ready to type this phone number in for the call in. I'm gonna take probably about 5 calls, and then we're going to move on to the next subject matter, which is going to be Russ and Paola. So I'm going to type this number in. Okay, I got it right this time. Okay, so that is call in number. That number is 240-986-1536. Again, the number is 240-986-1536. I anxiously await your phone calls to hear what you all have to say and what you think about Molly. Okay, K Town McVille said at some point he'll leave and take as much as he can. Absolutely, that was his purpose for coming over here. Angela Walton Rod said, when did they have a discussion in the DR about his agreeing to come to the US to be a father figure? It was all in her head. He had no interest in being a father. I don't think he did either. I think he was the bartender when she met him, and he wanted to be the bartender when he came over here. He probably was looking at all the clubs and stuff like that that's in Miami and Atlanta and all of those kind of places. And he was like, booyaka. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, I got the right person at the right time. And it is what it is. Okay. So we're gonna take our first call, y'all. I'm so excited. Okay, just 1 second, caller. This phone is acting fun. Let's get it started. And come on. You got the days when it's just working perfectly, and then you got the other days when it just wants to be a complete and total butthole. Hi, calling you're on with Auntie.
Hey, Auntie, it's Freckles.
It's
I
who?
had more of
It's
let me
who?
just say, you made my workday so much better
Wait a minute.
just
It's who?
by going live.
Wait a minute. It's who?
Freckles,
Hi, Freckles. How are
Freckles,
you?
how are you?
I'm doing good. What were you saying now, sweetie?
First, that you made my workday bearable just because you went live, so I love that. I work from home, so
Oh,
I was like, yay, to be able to see you. But my question was more general for you and the cousins about all the couples. It just confuses me why all of the couples where it seems like there's some level of them, being used or being not being aware of what's going on in their relationship.
mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if TLC, do they not, of all the 90 Day Fiance couples, do they not show people who are, that it seems like they are working out and they have a good relationship because it's not as interesting, or what?
I think that we the viewers dictate what TLC shows, because you know what, they have had some couples who have been successful. We had there's a couple
Mhm.
of them that have had babies and everything else, and we're not interested in them. Happily ever after last year bombed out because we were absolutely totally not
Oh,
interested in the couple. So I think that we are all interested in Nicole. We're interested in Danielle and Muhammad. We like the trash. We here for the trash.
that is so true. Oh my God,
So
that's so
I think
true.
that they have
That is
had
so
couples.
true.
It is. I mean, they're only feeding our appetite for this mess. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, that's the real.
Well, they're doing an excellent job this season. I love it, and I love all your reviews.
Thank you so
I
much,
appreciate you very much.
Freckles. I appreciate you too. Love you.
All right, you guys have a good day. Take care, Auntie and
All right,
cousin.
all right. Thanks, and stay tuned all day, boo.
I will. I will.
Okay, bye bye. That was a very good question, but I'm trying to tell you right now, they're only feeding our appetite because we got an appetite for the foolishness and the bull crap. Okay, we don't know. We don't want nothing but the bull crap. Okay. Okay. Hello there. You're on with Auntie.
Oh my God! Hi, Auntie.
Hello. Who is this?
This is Rich Chick. How are you?
What's up, girl? How you doing,
I'm good. Hi, cousin. I just wanted to say really quickly in regards to Molly and Luis. I have a member of my family who's in a similar situation. It's not as bad, but she's an older woman, and they just look for love so hard and so deep that whenever anybody shows any interest, they just get so swept up into it that they don't even realize what they're getting themselves into. And I really believe that's the case with Molly. It's like no love that she has ever stuck. So Luis gave her that attention, and she just got swept away by it.
That's true. But you know what? That is not reserved to older women. That's young women, middle-aged women. You know what I mean?
True.
There's a lot
Yes,
of
that's
women
true.
who they just give it up for the D. I mean, they just lose their mind for the D. And I
Yeah, but it's
don't,
more costly when you're older and you have young children, especially young girls, because she's teaching them that it's okay to settle.
which is the same thing that Nicole is teaching the baby.
Exactly.
You see what
Exactly.
I'm saying? They're two of the same people. They're teaching their children is because children learn from not what you say but what they see. And so
Exactly.
they're basically telling the kids it's okay for you to get stomped on, trampled on, and all that. It's just a hot ass mess. It really is.
Unfortunate because it just goes from generation to generation, and you wonder why the kids that are being birthed from generation to generation seem like things are getting worse for not just them but us as a nation, because these are the people who are going to be making our laws and rules and voting and all these different things. But look at the household that they're coming.
Absolutely. I don't. I don't. What do you think about the question that the caller had? Do you think that TLC focuses on the trash because of us, or do you think that they, just don't? What did you think about her statement, her
Girl,
question?
we like that trash. That's why they show it. If everybody was getting along and everything was hunky dory, the ratings wouldn't be as high as they are. Let's be honest.
That is
We
true.
like to watch train wrecks,
That
so
is
we're here for it.
okay.
So that's why they're showing
I am here for it. Trust me.
it.
And
I'm here for all of it. I wish it came on twice a week, and I'm watching both days.
okay, absolutely. They can take 1 hour and have it on this day and 1 hour instead of having 2 hours
Exactly.
back to back. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep,
I'm
and I'd
absolutely
watch it every day.
and I'm here for it. Thank you so much for calling in, caller.
All
Love
right. Thank you for
you.
taking my call.
You're so welcome. Love you,
You have a good
sweetie.
day.
You too.
Love you too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Yes, that Oh, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a text message that popped up on my phone. So, I mean, I'm here for the mess. I just wanted to take the time out to say thank you so much for Lisa Huntsberry for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That is so sweet. I think that the thing about it is, one of as you many of you all know, Molly reached out to me and wanted to, talk. And I think she really wants to talk because she really wants us to know. Um, Thank you, Tyree 985 for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, you all, for the super chat. I love it. Yes. Okay. I think she reached out because she knew that we were going to see all of this and really wanted to have an opportunity to talk and explain her side of it. I don't know how many of you all follow her on Instagram, but I've been watching her Instagram and she's vacationing and doing all stuff that she wants to do with the woo whoop and the boo boo boo. And I'm like, you know what? Just don't bring nothing back, Molly. You got to learn how to enjoy yourself, enjoy life, grab life by the horns and ride it. You got to do all of that, but you still have to understand that, you know what? First things first, I'm a mom. And so, do you take your vacations, drink and drunk and all of that stuff, but don't bring anything else back that is going to affect your life. And the thing about it is hard to watch it because you know, and it's almost like a family member. These people with at TLC or 90 Day Fiance, for some of us, we are absolutely totally invested in what is going on with their lives. I don't think that we realize it. We kind of like we really think we know these people because we've seen their life unfold, on television. A lot of people are now starting to get into the reviews and stuff like that, on YouTube, but they don't really know these people like we know these people. Like we know these people. Is that another one? Oh, okay, that's the same one. Let me see what's going on out here. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to be respectful and say thank you um for the super chats. And my screen appears to be frozen. Okay, so let me see. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta take care of first things first. Okay, Catherine Navarro says, "Hi, Auntie. My 5 cents from Panama City. I'm really sad for Molly that she brought this trash to her home. I think he has been taking advantage from day one." And that's from Catherine Navarro. Hi, Catherine. I totally agree with you. I think that he probably was taking advantage of her when she was sitting her ass over there in the Dominican Republic vacationing. A lot of, unfortunately, people wait for Americans and other people, for tourists to come in, and they want to take advantage of them. They wait for us to come over. I've been to the islands many times, and they be waiting for my ass to get off that plane, grab my luggage, and come out. The game is on. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little woman. Got a big old butt. You know what I'm saying? Little, all right, breast, got too much stomach. I'm working on that. But when you get up off of that plane, oh, they waiting on you. And you got them fresh cornrows in, and they thinking that you don't have anything but money, and they will ride you around and take care of you because they're looking to hook you. And some of them got wives and got families at home, and they know that they go to visit the places where the tourists are going to be to try to get that chatter. They try to rob you and do all kinds of stuff. I've been out of the country. I know what it's like, and it's a sad thing when you find yourself as a woman or man getting caught up in that crap. You got to know that everybody got their hustle on. Everybody got their hustle game on. Even us, when we go over, we want to barter and we want to do different things. Get a lot for a little. Everybody got their hustle game on, but you got to be wiser than that, especially when you are a mom. And I think that Molly has unfortunately learned some very, very valuable lessons. I will be reaching out to her. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is 9 episodes or what it is, but as soon as this is over, we will be interviewing. So we'll get an opportunity to see. I'm hoping that Molly will be willing to take live phone calls from you all, but I don't really know if she will or she won't. I'm hoping she will. Molly, if you listening, Molly girlfriends, if you listening, I think that it would do Molly a lot of good to talk to the viewers, and I don't think that anybody will call her in and drag her ass or cuss her out or anything like that. But I really would be interested. You know what? I'll DM her and let her know that we're going to be taking phone calls. But I'm going to end this right now, and we're going to go into our next couple, and that is going to be Paola and Russ. We're going to be talking about that with Russ standing up. Somebody said Russ stood up, and Russ is sexier to them than he's ever been. They said that him standing up for himself, you know, really turned them on. I don't know. But let's wait and see. I will be taking calls. The phone lines will be open. So make sure you get your questions ready. See y'all in a few. Love you.